We're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Games That Define Us. We are the Arcade Tokens. I go by the Anomaly Will Pharaoh.
Khleo Thomas, aka Mr. Slick Living.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
And we have a special guest today. She is from H-Town. She is a cosplayer. She is a anime expert. She is an all-around dope human being. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Roxxy. Hey!
Yay!
Claps in the chat for
That's
Roxxy.
me. Hello.
Anime expert.
I didn't say that. He said that.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm a
I be
fan.
giving people titles they shouldn't have. Like I told
Yeah.
Pierre, he's like an anime supreme, and he's been running with it ever since. He was
Yeah.
like,
I'm not.
"Thank you." I was like,
Expert means people can like question me and ask me about my knowledge. I'm not that knowledgeable.
Yeah, I was about to pull some questions up.
Well, no, go ahead on here. Maybe I can.
just go to one you can rely on.
Hunter. No.
Got
Nothing?
going on.
Ooh.
Boom.
And now
Shut
you can
up.
be an expert right now.
Now I'm an expert. Thank you, Will. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll take that title.
There
I
you go.
appreciate that.
Layup.
That's how y'all do it. Okay.
I've never seen an episode. Have y'all?
Oh, it's fire. It's fire. It's
I
so
heard it's
good.
very good.
They
It's
talk
so
about
good.
it all the time, but I have not had a chance to check out
Yes.
Hunter x Hunter yet.
It's really good.
There you go.
It's the same dude that made
That sounds like a dope
can't.
anime.
Yeah, that whatever he made.
Like a dope anime.
It's good.
Sounds like he made
That's a
something.
good intro to it. Yep.
Sounds like he had another project.
Right?
Super talented. Multi-layered.
You're like, let's talk about this next season for this one. All right, but y'all know how this goes. These are the games that define us. We come in every time, bring in a game that we just feel like defined us as gamers, kind of defined us as individuals. You never know what console we're coming from, what's about to pop up, and just what kind of memories are finna resurface. So, Roxy, I'm gonna allow one of the tokens to go first, and I feel like maybe Pat should go first, so you can kind of
Maybe
see
Pat should.
how games that define us.
Pass it to Pat.
Pass it, Pat. Pass it, Pat. Pass it to Pat. If you want to have fun under the sun, you better pass it to Pat.
All right. So since they passed it to Pat, thank you guys for that. Let me start like this. The year is 1997. Right? A young, I hate the word ripe. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. A young,
You keep bringing
Where
this
was
ripe
that going,
up.
Pat?
Ripe has come up frequently for you.
I don't know why young and ripe is always a thing, but I don't like talking
Mm-mm.
about young ripe.
No.
I'll just say a young and ambitious and limber. Patrick.
They're pretty bad.
Real Kevin
Limber.
with the description here.
For a child, yeah, I'm
A
not.
young, okay, energetic. There we go. A
There
young,
you go.
energetic child, Patrick, has a PlayStation, and he just loves the action fights. All right. Now, my favorite beat 'em up is probably the arcade version of X-Men. So with that kind of just in my heart, they dropped this. This is the same. This game comes from the same studios that just had success with Tomb Raider when that dropped. And this game is called Fighting Force. All right. It's a 3D beat 'em up. There were 4 characters that you can choose from. I believe the main guy's name was Hawk. The dude in the back was Ben Smasher. We were little boys.
Oh,
We never chose the girls. You know how that whole thing was. Like, I'm a little boy. Like, I'm gonna choose Ben Smasher. So I think the other girl's name is like Alana, and then like I don't know, maybe
Sounds like a porn star name.
I think the other girl's Cinnamon or something. I don't know what it is.
I was finna say something like red.
The other girl's Glitter. But Fighting Force was dope. I mean, it had a very simple premise, as games back then oftentimes did. I think it was like some dude named Dr. Zien or something like that. He wanted to end the world at New Year's, so this Fighting Force was deployed to stop him, and it was cool. It was multiplayer, so you and up to I want to say 4 of you guys could play.
I think it was 4. I think.
Yeah.
And you literally got dropped off in the streets, Resident Evil style, and it was basically like a classic beat 'em up. You guys were just going through level after level, fighting like thugs. You can kind of like break things off of like weapons off. Like they had like pipes that you can use, all types of guns. It was really dope. And the best part about it was definitely co-ed. This dude had no friends. I don't think I've ever played it by myself, but it still just had like a really cool fighting system. And like like if you punch the police car, you can like break stuff off of it for wheels. It was just like kind of like the arcade version, but just brought into the new like console with like 3D graphics. See how he's kind of like messing it up. Now you can throw the tire, you can take the engine out and throw it at people. I think something came out of the trunk. What is that? Oh, it's a gun.
Is that a rocket launcher?
RPG.
Yeah.
You start
0
off
to 100 real quick.
Wow.
Rocket launcher. Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, and like special agents just came out of nowhere, and it was just dope. And every character had different like a different loadout of how they fought. So he was like probably the more well-rounded guy. I think that's the main guy, Hawk. There was a girl who was like really, really fast. There was a teenager who was kind of weak, but she was like the quickest one or had like these special techniques. And then the Ben Smasher was obviously like the slower but big dude, but so he can like do stuff that they couldn't do, like, you know, lift stuff up or, you know, the stuff that you would just break off. He can completely throw.
Turns to the Hulk.
Yeah, he's pretty much like the Hulk of the group. And it was just dope. You see how like people are like dropping money. And it was just cool how you kind of like had to like maneuver around. You basically started in the streets and then you kind of went up into this hotel and you had to kind of like go floor by floor. And it was just like, yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It was just like a beat 'em up that was cool to play because it was co-op.
Yep.
I remember this cover, but I promise you, I never played this game. So this is my first time seeing the gameplay. And I never thought of a 3D beat 'em up. I've never thought of that concept, especially for that time frame in which this game came out, which was this is the first PlayStation console.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one.
You said 1990. What this dropped?
1997.
1997, a 3D beat 'em up. Yeah, this is
Very
right. This is what I think what it would look like. Yeah.
It was just like very, very PlayStation too. You can see the graphics. Like I feel like that van has been in at least 17 PlayStation.
Bags.
Oh.
So you have the little jumping kick.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to start pulling those out. This my man playing like trash. I was like, this looks kind of boring, but he starts running around kicking people like that. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's definitely like
go.
more fun, like when there's like a bunch of people on stage, because I want to say they give you more enemies when there's more of you too.
Right.
And it's just like how you guys work together. I think you can build up to a special move also. I really like this game, and it did not get good reviews. The reviews were very mixed. Oh snap!
Oh,
Big Boy came out.
Big
And
boss.
then when you started incorporating like the different weapons, there was all types of guns. It was lit. I'm assuming nobody else in here has ever played or even.
Nah, I was the same thing. I've seen it, but I never played it.
And I don't even know why I've seen that poster before, because there's no way that was hanging up in like every video game store, like in a 12.
Nah, you saw that at Blockbuster. Whenever you pass at the game store, that was always by the greatest hits for PlayStation, and it would always be sitting there for $7.99, and you just like, huh. And then you go look at the next game. And
I played Fighting Force like that. Fighting Force was actually really, really popular, and it also had a second one. It just didn't, you know those games that be having sequels, but it's like no one really played like at all. And I've actually never seen any of these characters in anything else ever. Oh, they packing him out. you saw how they like came all over him.
Oh, he's done. Oh, he's getting worked out. Like, I don't think he's gonna make it out of this.
Oh, that was another cool thing. You could punch the soda machines and get like soda and for health.
He better hurry up and get that soda. He about to get popped.
Get that soda. Oh,
I'm not touch his ass.
This is realistic. This is a real thing right here.
In my defense, if the dude can't play in the gameplay, he's gonna make the game look stupid. Throw in soda and stuff like that. But like I said, it was definitely very co-op dependent. I don't think I ever tried to play through it. He just drank some pop.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever tried to play through it by myself, because there's just like a very big, like, just like imagine like in that day with those graphics, kind of like just like running around and just beating up people together. Like there a lot of games like that in PlayStation was like single player and you just took turns. So It was just like a cool little variation. He's getting jumped like bad.
Especially getting jumped by janitor. Apparently, is that janitor? Yeah, janitor is whooping his ass right now.
Here's the thing that makes it so realistic. This is what happens when you just randomly get dropped off in a city you know nothing about. Like it never ends well. Like we saw what happened in Resident Evil. Every time someone gets dropped off, it never ends well.
Nope.
But the thing is like they're not even like. I get when agents are fighting you, but like the janitors are. What? I don't like this guy. I don't like his vest.
The janitors got hands. Like, nah, we just our pension, bitch. Like, oh.
Yeah, that goddamn soda machine because you come here.
Need a Sprite. This just looks like a drunk white dude that they're trying to detain.
I never really. They just threw him through that fence.
Yeah. 98. That's what this looks like.
And he just broke the safe. So you can, he's about to get that.
Oh, you see it. It's coming. It's coming. Oh
my
God. Who's playing this?
That was I guarantee you that this is fun when you're good at it and you're fighting with your friends. I don't know who this dude is. This is a toddler playing this game.
Hot dog?
This is the trailer. This is the trailer that they had. It was this and then Fighting Force.
This was the E3 trailer.
What trailer?
Just a regular trailer when it came out.
You said this, what we're watching?
Yeah.
Hell no. Can you imagine? This was the rollout and everybody at E3 was just like, okay. All right. The developers are trash. Like what? But yes, for sure, definitely a game that defined me from back in the day. I always liked the style of beat 'em ups, just picking up weapons and just fighting without a lot of storyline. So for sure, Fighting Force was def that game for me. And I like the second one. So
all right, I can't argue with that.
Bet.
Yeah. All right, Roxy.
Okay.
See how we are doing the games that define us. We keep it honest here, but we always kind of respect the reminiscing of a person's game that defines them. So are you ready to give us your game that defines you?
Yes. Do I have to do that like creepy pedophile sounding prelude before the game? I'm familiar with the format. No, I could just I don't have to talk about
it's an open
being right. I don't have to
it's like town hall. You just go up and say what you gotta say.
You said pedophile like I wasn't talking about myself.
I know, but you can self-pedophilia.
I have never.
Limber didn't help.
Limber and rape are just two disgusting adjectives to describe a child. I don't.
Young and limber.
But what does that have to do with the game?
Self-pedophilia? I have never. In my life.
Young and
no pedophilia. There was nothing sexual about being young and limber.
You're right. It was the culmination of those words. If you
Y'all
just
made
said
it.
one,
Y'all made it that.
It was.